Hello and welcome to the final video for the second coursework of the Advanced Interactive Media Development module. In this video, we will take a look at the design diagram detailing the underlying structure of the project as well as the project itself. Looking at the design diagram, I have made attempts to color code blocks in terms of structure or format. For example, the staff, order and customer objects all have a physical presence in the game and can be interacted with, and as such they have been placed in blue blocks. While there are several UI panels such as the heads-up display, final score and pause canvases that primarily function through click events and C# scripts, and they have been depicted in green here. The event system was my solution to an issue that had existed even in my first coursework, namely the interactions between fungus flowcharts, especially the access of specific flowcharts as opposed to a large group. It has been depicted here in orange. Finally, the player character is the player, of course, who is the point of entry for the user when interacting with the system. As you can see here, some of our key models would be the staff model, which activates the order model once you go and speak to them, and then the order model, once collected, the collect order command goes to the customer model, changing the customer model state. And prior to all of this, the customer model is the one who activates the first order in the staff model, which allows you to make the conversation. But yeah, to see this in a bit more concrete detail, going into the project itself, we can now see that the environment an environment has been added to create a more realistic atmosphere. New textures have also been added in order to give a more authentic appearance to the materials of the container cafe. New lighting has also been added in correspondence with the available light sockets of the container cafe. Spotlights provide illumination near the cashier area, and area lights are set up in the outer floodlighting. Yes, we have something that appears to be a city street, and then a container cafe which is well lit up from the inside. When starting the game, you'll notice that an audio clip has been added to be played whenever a customer spawns. Under my current setting, the character model will spawn every 10 seconds at one of 12 pre-decided locations. The player's objective is to speak to the customers, collect their orders, and then recount them to the cashier, who will ring it up and pass on the order to a mythical kitchen staff. It should be noted that you can handle a maximum of 3 orders at a time, and if you speak to the cashier with multiple unfilled orders, you can place all orders in the sequence in which you received them. After speaking to the cashier, a timer will start, handling the spawning of the order boxes. These boxes can be collected by clicking on them and then delivering them to the relevant customer. At this point, I'd also like to address the method I used in order to handle possible customer trigger clashes, i.e., when I enter into an area where I can interact with multiple customers, how would I handle the triggering, and which customer would I choose to address? Instead of having it so that when I enter a trigger box, instead of having it where the flowcharts would start immediately, I initially used the activate trigger to activate a UI button that would appear on screen, which I could click. However, this was unfeasible as I could only have a maximum of 2 buttons on screen, as I didn't want to have, let's say, 13 buttons, or 13 individual buttons for each possible customer spawn and the cashier spawn. Plus, in addition to this, the activate trigger flowchart that went along with this was unsatisfactory in a number of ways, chiefly in terms of the repeat trigger option. where having no repeat trigger resulted in only a single interaction being possible, while an active repeat trigger caused the flowchart to be activated again and again while the player stood inside the trigger area, causing some difficulties when trying to escape. Finally, as a game, I have a game over win condition. The condition I decided upon was to have the player fill the orders of a specific number of customers with points assigned based on player performance, with a late or wrong order garnering negative points and a quickly delivered order garnering a larger amount of points. As a quick aside, I would like to mention the slight changes I made to the icons which appear over the staff and customer heads when interacting with them in the game scene. Now, once we start this up again, you'll notice that once we go and talk to the cashier, the circle over their head appears red. Meanwhile, an interaction with them gets this response: collect some new orders before talking to me. Now if we go and look at a customer, they have a green icon with a question mark as opposed to a red icon with an exclamation mark. We collect an order. He wants a burger with a soda. The icon has now changed from a question mark to a sundial, and that timer has appeared. Going back to our cashier, you'll notice that his icon has turned green. And now we can interact with him and set our order. What did the customer want to eat? As I recall, it was a burger with water. Once again, the cashier is now waiting for new orders. After 5 seconds, the order box will appear, and we can click on it, collect it, and then hand it over to our customer. And it appears that I made the wrong choice. Well, never mind. Let's try it with another customer. He wants a hot dog with root beer. Going back to our cashier, he wanted a hot dog with root beer. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Collect the order. Here you go, sir. Thank you very much. It looks delicious. And that's our final score screen. Just a bit of explanation prior to doing that. So, as you might see, there are 12 chairs in the container cafe area, and the customers will all spawn in these 12 chairs over at intervals of 10 seconds. So the spawning is set to be random, and when collecting orders from the customers, you can collect a maximum of 3 orders at a time before going and speaking to the cashier. If you attempt to speak to the customers after collecting 3 orders without filling them, they will blow you off telling, please fill out a few orders before coming back to speak to me. We can demonstrate it here again. Oh, also, in case you cannot hear, certain audio clip plays when the order is given, when the order is finally handed over to the customer, based on if the order given is correct or incorrect. Now we can wait a bit while more customers spawn in. Yep, we have a second customer appearing, and in another 10 seconds our next customer should appear as well. Bingo. Now, actually, I'll wait till the 4th customer appears. I'll start here anyway. You want a sandwich and soda. Customer 4 is here. Sandwich, soda as well. You want a burger and root beer. And you? Yeah, you're busy. Yes. Cashier, 1 wanted sandwich, soda, another sandwich with soda, and if memory recalls, a burger, and root beer. Order 1, Order 2, Order 3. The order boxes spawn 5 seconds after placing the order with the cashier. Now, just in case we run out. Yes, correct. Correct. Oh yes. And in this case, I have set it so that the player has to serve a maximum of 2 customers. This is mainly due to time constraints of the video, while in the proper event system, the score flowchart, under the score flowchart, I can assign it in such that, let's say 3. And here I'll demonstrate the way the win conditions get affected as well. So, as I mentioned, you get marks docked if you make an incorrect order, or if you make the order too late, and your final score is better if you deliver an order on time, or rather quicker. Sandwich and soda. He wants a sandwich, he wants a soda. Fast, select it here. Still green. That should earn us 15 points. And now you two. You want a hot dog and water? You want a hot dog and soda. Alright. So for these, I'll make an error on one of the customers, and I'll time out on the other customer. So I believe both of them wanted hot dogs. So yeah, let's just go with the burger and a soda for one, and a hot dog and soda for the other. Order 1 and order 2. Oh dear, we're already in the red. Oh dear, I think I made a mistake. Never mind. Let's time him out. I was hoping I got that wrong. And this is a final score of 20. As I recall, I scored 15 because I served the first customer within 20 seconds, and then the second customer was served the correct order with 20 seconds remaining, while the last customer was given a late order. So 15 points were earned for the first, 5 points for the second, and that would and then 20 points were earned for the first, 5 points for the second, and then 5 points were docked for running out of time. This concludes my final video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll maybe see you again soon. Thank you.